This is your Hdsr Sports Report, the Victor Valley's only weekly action highlights sports program, covering our area's schools, teams, athletes, and sporting events. Robert Metzger's Oak Hills Bulldogs, Kieran Jones' Silverado Hawks, and Robert Kistner's Victor Valley Jackrabbits have home games in the first round of the CIF playoffs. The Mojave River League champions and undefeated Bulldogs are seeded 5th in the Division II playoffs. Their opponent, St. Bonaventure, won the Marmont League. This game is a rematch. Oak Hills beat St. Bonaventure 35-21 in mid-September, one of 3 losses for the Seraphs from Ventura. The Bulldogs' defense, which has given up on average 16 points a game, is challenged to slow down a St. Bonaventure offense that comes in averaging 35 points a game. Quamaine Thomas, 3, Samisi Fangata, 41, and Thaddeus Jones, 24, are the tackles leaders. Samisi Fangata's 4 sacks lead his team in that category. Oak Hills has the area's most explosive two-dimensional offense with quarterback Diego Lopez at the controls. The junior signal caller has the High Desert's best fleet of receivers to throw to. Shane Young, 10, has caught 13 touchdown passes and is as dangerous running back, kickoffs, and punts as anybody in the area. 36. Shea Gabriel, 11, is equally dangerous. 9 scoring passes and 3 rushing touchdowns in the win over Sultana. Leading ball carrier Carson Cox has 16 rushing touchdowns and 2 more as a pass receiver. He averages 13 yards every time he touches the ball. Apple Valley is the lowest seeded team in the 16-team Division II playoffs. The Sun Devils go to undefeated Inglewood, hoping to replicate last year's run deep into the Division III playoffs. Kyle Godfrey's Sun Devils are healthier this time of year than last, when wrecking ball linebacker Dustin Reynolds doubled down as his team's leading ball carrier in 3 playoff victories that landed them in the Division III championship game. Noah Seeley directs the Sun Devils offense that averages 43 points a game. The junior quarterback accounts for 30 touchdowns, 23 passing, 7 running, operating behind a huge offensive line led by 6'6", 330-pound, Alabama-bound Raymond Polito, 79. Polito and company clear the way for running backs Xavier Salazar, 23, and fellow junior Aiden Sanchez, 22, who combine to average 140 rushing yards a game. Noah Seeley tuned up for the playoffs by firing 4 scoring passes in the final regular season rout of Burroughs. Isaiah Ojeda, 3, is among the team's top pass receivers, threat to take runbacks all the way on kick returns, and the team's shutdown cornerback against opponents' top receivers. Isaiah Ojeda is the team leader in solo tackles with 26. Jaira Lou Pepitella, 48, and Jovian Kakasco, 14, follow Dustin Reynolds on the tackles per game chart. Solid senior two-way starter Brandon Armillo, 12, has 4 sacks, tops on the team. Brandon Armillo is also among 9 receivers to catch scoring passes from Noah Seeley. Sultana's Cinderella story season has them arriving at the postseason ball at Ontario Christian. Terry Cleveland's Sultans go in the underdog, ranked 7 slots lower than Ontario Christian among CIF Southern Section teams. Sultana is in the Division 7 playoffs. The Sultans' return to postseason play comes on the strength of seemingly unstoppable quarterback Jacob Higgs, who has carried the offense on his back, rushing for 11 touchdowns and throwing 25 scoring passes. Jacob Higgs has amassed just under 2,900 total yards on offense, far and away the highest among Hdsr players. Fellow sophomore LaMason Waller, 3, and senior Corey Cabrialis, 2, are Sultana's leading receivers, 11 touchdown receptions apiece. Rome Thomas, 5, a sophomore linebacker, is his team's leading tackler, just under 10 tackles a game, includes 52 solo tackles. Sultana's defense is challenged to hold down an Ontario Christian offense that is averaging 39 points a game. Silverado opens the postseason hosting St. Francis in Division 5. Kieran Jones' Hawks ride a 5-game winning streak into the playoffs, having swept their Desert Sky League opponents. Tough defense, anchored by a linebacking core touted as among the best in school history, accounts for Silverado winning 8 of 10 games. Andrew Olmos, 27, and Ivan Lewis, 8, averaged 10 and 9 tackles a game. Andrew Olmos leads the team with 48 solo tackles. Ivan Lewis, 33 solo tackles, 8 for a loss. Richard Reed, 4, 7 stops a game, also 33 solo tackles. All 3 are seniors. Fellow senior Darren Gandy, 1, is often the number 1 big play maker, intercepting passes. He has 3 picks, returning kicks, and catching touchdown passes. He has 7. The Hawks' leading ball carrier is Frederick Hunter, 3, 15 rushing touchdowns and 1 touchdown reception. Frederick Hunter enters the postseason having already exceeded 1,000 yards rushing. The St. Francis pairing appears to pit 2 evenly matched teams. Silverado is ranked 3 slots higher than the Angeles League third place Golden Knights in CIF Southern Section rankings. Adelanto goes to Norte Vista Friday. Saints superstar quadruple threat Keith Reynolds, 3, has accumulated over 1,300 total yards his senior season, combining rushing, passing, and pass receiving yardage. Plus, he runs back interceptions for touchdowns, adding defense a 4th dimension to his triple threat offensively. Keith Reynolds leads Coach Rafael Perry's ranks into battle against the 7-3 Braves from Riverside, who finished 3rd in the River Valley League. The Saints in Division 9. Same as Granite Hills. Alex Gonzalez's Cougars, an at-large selection, they journey to La Quinta Friday. Byron Rivas quarterbacks another explosive offense that attacks through the air or on the ground with equal effectiveness. 26 touchdown passes for Byron Rivas, 12 to number 11, Theodore Wiggins. Leading ground gainer Cameron Smith has 14 rushing touchdowns, plus 4 more as a receiver. Scoring has not been the biggest challenge for the Cougars. Keeping opponents out of the end zone has. Leading tackler Angel Carcamo, 52, and company are tasked with holding down a La Quinta offense that averages 34 points a game. Robert Kistner's Jackrabbits entered the Division 12 playoffs, hosting Santa Ana Valley. The very young and very scrappy Jackrabbits leaders include Hezekiah Jenkins, among team leaders in every defensive category: interceptions, tackles, and sacks. Their opponent, the Falcons from Santa Ana Valley, are 8-2, the second-place team in the Santa Ana Valley League. The Oak Hills Bulldogs get a pair of first-quarter touchdown passes from Diego Lopez, a 35-yarder to Shea Gabriel, who wins the race to the end zone, a 26-yard strike to Shane Young, who adjusts his route to get open for the scrambling Diego Lopez. Then, second half, rushing touchdowns from Quamaine Thomas and leading ball carrier Carson Cox. And Robert Metzger's Dogs stave off a St. Bonaventure fourth-quarter rally to beat their opening round opponent 26-20. The Bulldogs host Bishop Amat in round 2 of the Division II playoffs. Apple Valley lost quarterback Noah Seeley with a broken wrist in the second quarter, and the Sun Devils lost at top-seeded Inglewood 35-21. Sultana's surprising Sultans got 7 touchdowns from Jacob Higgs, but lost by 2 points at Ontario Christian 57-55. The sensational sophomore quarterback threw 4 scoring passes, rushed for 2, and caught a touchdown pass in one of the greatest individual performances in playoff history. The Silverado Hawks fall to St. Francis 48-20 at home. Norte Vista eliminated the Adelanto Saints 30-6. The Granite Hills Cougars are outscored at La Quinta 61-47. The Victor Valley Jackrabbits season ends with the 3-0 home field loss to Santa Ana Valley. Hesperia Christian got 4 rushing touchdowns from Aiden Ortega, 2 touchdown passes from Jared Bragg and Arlen Coaster, who also caught a scoring pass, blasting past Cal Lutheran 54-0 to advance to round 2 in the 8-man playoffs. The entire high desert sports community remains saddened by the murder of Silverado football standout Richard Reed. In the immediate aftermath of his shocking and tragic death, this tribute, which includes an interview preceding his senior season. We interviewed a trio of Silverado superheroes led by the reigning Desert Sky League Defensive Player of the Year.
Richard Reed. I attend Silverado High School and I'm a senior, and I play outside linebacker and running back for Silverado High School.
Hawks coach Kieran Jones boasted the school's best linebacking core ever. Outside linebacker Richard Reed, 9, returning DSL Defensive Player of the Year. It is Richard Reed first to answer the question, what will the Hawks have to do to repeat as DSL champions and again advance deep into the CIF playoffs?
We're going to have to step it up a level this year in order to go further than what we did last year.
Richard, if there was a superhero you would identify with, who would that be and why?
I'll be the Joker because I'm just one of the bad guys on the field. Nobody really likes me as in other schools.
Opponents may well remember Richard Reed for his crushing tackles. Teammates will recall how he fired up the entire defense. This sportscaster recollects his intensive competitive spirit, how mature and articulate he was when interviewed, and his focus on excellence. With this image, we close this tribute to Richard Reed. Your High Desert Sports Report is brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville. Call 760-241-4663 for delivery. Drive-through, curbside, or pickup. Down Home Grill, corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Road in Victorville. Bid fast and last. World-class auctioneers. Bid fast and last. Liquidation of government entities, vehicles, firearms, estates, antiques, fine jewelry, coins, and more. Bid online at bidfastandlast.com.
Kick tires, start fires, kick ass, take names, and rock and roll.
Valu Quality Truck Bodies, family owned and operated locally since 1954. Valu Quality Truck Bodies, proudly showcasing teams, athletes, and youth-oriented activities. The Bradco Companies, Joseph W. Brady's Bradco Companies, the High Desert Mojave River Valley's longest-standing commercial brokerage firm. Bradco, leading efforts to improve the quality of life and standard of living for all residents throughout our High Desert region.
Serious legal problems? Don't go it alone. Get the proper defense by going on the attack. Wanzek Law Firm. Trial lawyers for serious problems.
Silverwood. The developers of the Silverwood Master Planned Community support the teams, athletes, and sports programs of all our High Desert and Mojave River Valley schools. We Got 'em Tees, your headquarters for custom screen printing and mastercraft embroidery design. Oh yeah, We Got 'em Tees. And by the Holiday Inn, Conference and Convention Center for the High Desert, and destination of choice of visitors and travelers to the Victor Valley. Good news, more good news, and some not-so-good news to report on Victor Valley College sports. Good news, the Rams win at Grossmont. Good news, Lady Rams basketball is ranked number 7 in the state. Not so good, no VVC home games. Men's and Lady Rams basketball will be played at home on the VVC campus. Tyler Karen has his most completions to date, throwing for 279 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kinyard Edwards has his second straight 100-plus yards rushing day, running for 177 yards and a touchdown in the 31-16 victory at Grossmont. Tyler Karen's season-high 27 completions go to 10 different receivers. Omari McCullough caught one of the scoring passes. Omari McCullough, a freshman from Adelanto. Sophomore tight end Matt Lowe, the other touchdown pass. 4th touchdown reception this season for the former Serrano Diamondback. He leads all VVC receivers in scoring passes. Hosea Stokes caught 8 passes for 65 yards against the Grossmont Griffins. The returning all-conference receiver and former Adelanto Saint has 25 receptions on the year. That is the most on the team. Tyler Karen's 279 yards moves him to 7th in the state in passing yardage. The Granite Hills freshman had a 309 yards passing game in VVC's win at LA Valley. He has completed 56% of his passes for 1,551 yards and 13 touchdowns in 7 games. Kinyard Edwards Jr. carried 25 times against Grossmont, 177 yards, most in a game this season for the returning all-conference running back from Apple Valley. These are video clips from Kinyard Edwards' game against Grossmont a year ago. In this year's win at Grossmont, the Kinyard Edwards touchdown came from 3 yards out. It was the Rams' 3rd touchdown in the second quarter, putting VVC ahead 24-7 at the half. The 177-yard rushing day is particularly gratifying. It's his second straight game carrying for over 100 yards. It signals the return to last year's form after recovering from an early season injury that sidelined him for 1 game and hampered his efforts in 2 that followed. That, coupled with the fact that Kinyard Edwards is not catching opponents by surprise this season, opposing defenses' first priority is trying to contain Kinyard Edwards and the Rams' running attack. Defensive leaders in the Grossmont win begin with Adrian Rodriguez, one who registered 6 tackles and added his second pass interception of the year. Adrian Rodriguez is Coach Artie Allen's captain on defense. He played his high school football at Oak Hills. Linebacker Lance Henderson recorded his first collegiate touchdown, running back a fumble recovery 48 yards. The former Granite Hills Cougar shown here with the sack from the Antelope Valley College game highlights. Statistically, the Rams' win was just as lopsided as the score. The Rams held Grossmont to 270 total yards, while the offense racked up 427 yards in total offense. The victory evens VVC's conference record at 1-1. They are 3-4 overall, with a chance to even their season mark if they can win at Pasadena City College Saturday night. Pasadena City College is 1-2 in conference play. They lost 24-21 to Grossmont. The Victor Valley College basketball seasons are underway. Coach Troy Hall's defending conference champions are ranked number 7 in the California Community College Women's Basketball Association South Region poll. The Lady Rams open against Cuyamaca, facing one unexpected hardship. The Lady Rams will not have any home games played at home. The gym floor sustained water damage recently, and repairs and resurfacing will not be completed in time for any home games to be played on the VVC campus. Coach Prentice Harris's Rams have their season opener against Compton, the game scheduled to be played at Barstow College, the interim home court for Rams and Lady Rams games. Looking back in high desert sports history, some of the top playmakers in Victor Valley College history showcased. Former Silverado Hawk Jimmy Musgrave leads the 2013 Rams defense. The new-look running Rams of 2013 are led by the leading scorer in the state, former Barstow Aztec Kevin Lawson. Sierra Steamer breaks the Lady Rams school record for blocked shots in the 2018 home opener. Victor Valley College Rams football highlights. Strong points, big plays, impact players, and marquee performers. Many happy returns. The Rams' special teams provide the offense with good field position. Kick return specialist Quentin Childs is out of El Paso, Texas, El Dorado High School. It takes more than one tackler to bring down this elusive Childs. On this kickoff return, ex-Granite Hills freshman Malik Williams hands off to Kevin Glenn. Malik Williams, from his cornerback position here, fights through the double team to initiate contact. Josh Gonzalez in on the tackle for a loss. Lateral pursuit by Rams linebackers. The ball carrier reverses field, but Jimmy Musgrave and the company pursue, and the result is a loss on the play. 18 is Anthony Barbage, linebacker out of Apple Valley. Tackle made at the line of scrimmage. Linebacker Melvin Robinson out of Las Vegas. First contact behind the line of scrimmage. Linebacker Jimmy Musgrave finishes it off.
On the top of the defense,
Jimmy Musgrave, the prototype inside linebacker. The sack here for the 6'1", 230-pound Musgrave out of Silverado High School. This was sack number 8 on the year for number 8. Goal line defense. Ex-Sultana defensive lineman William Smith, 92, penetrates and disrupts the play. Smith at 6'2", 240. Jimmy Musgrave, another finishing touch. A new era begins at Victor Valley College Rams basketball. The new-look Victor Valley College Rams first home game. Kevin Lawson leads all scorers in the 84-73 victory over Santa Barbara Community College. Lawson is the leading scorer in the state, averaging 32 points a game. Lead the state in scoring, one would need to be accurate with the jumper, an added trait setting Lawson apart from and above the rest. He's nearly impossible to stop inside. Brandon Parker's return on Lawson's out-of-bounds pass here. The Rams have 4 players averaging in double figures. Run-of-the-world graduate Max Barkley, 15 points a game. The 6'2 Barkley from Vancouver, British Columbia. Apple Valley graduate Kamani Lane, 15 a game. Assists leader Justin Knowles averages just under 13 points a game. Knowles from Muir High School in Pasadena averages 6 assists as well. The fact that Lawson leads the team and the state in scoring attribute as much to his unselfishness and to that of his teammates.
No egos on this team. Everybody just want to win, and I think that's really what's important in this team. Nobody's worried about scoring. Nobody's worried about statistics, really. I think that's why we mesh so well.
Matt Denny, prep coach for 20 years. Kevin Lawson is as good as anybody I've seen in the high desert.
Victor Valley College gets a record-breaking performance from Sierra Steamer in the Lady Rams 2018-2019 season opener. The 6'2 freshman registers 10 blocked shots, a new school record. We see the immediate rewards on this play. Sierra Steamer blocks the shot. Heavens Bonner runs it down and sends it up court to Destiny Marin, who scores the first Lady Rams basket of the new season. Destiny Marin with the inbounds feed to Sierra Steamer, who uses the left hand to score. The first-year Ram from Palmdale's Pete Knight High School leads Lady Rams scorers this game with 16 and rebounds with 13. The Lady Rams unveil a lot of positive signs for first-year head coach Troy Hall. His girls are aggressive going to the basket. Heavens Bonner hits this drive shot. Destiny Marin evades her man-to-man defender, drives to the paint, and scores. The former Serrano, all Mojave River League standout, scores 14 in her VBC debut. The 5'7 freshman and former Lady Diamondback is 6 for 11 from the floor this game. Michaela Hughes drives and scores. Michaela Hughes, one of 2 Lady Rams sophomores who were starters last season. She is another former Serrano Diamondback. Heavens Bonner passes to Destiny Marin, who fights her way through traffic and scores 2 of her 14 points. Amber Evans, the bounce pass entry to Heavens Bonner, whose move inside is good for 2. The 5'7 freshman from Hesperia was all Mojave River League last season. She scores 6 in her first game, a Lady Ram. Destiny Marin beats the Miracosta defense and beats the clock with this basket just as the first half ends. 12 of Destiny Marin's 14 points this game come in the first half. Terry Kurtz here, inviting you to join us on Terry Kurtz Online, the half-hour report on high desert and Mojave River Valley events and activities, entertainment and history. It shows 3 times daily at 7:30 and 11:30 mornings and 4:30 in the afternoon, right here on Victor Valley TV, immediately following your High Desert Sports Report. It's the most informative and entertaining half-hour of High Desert television today. Your High Desert Sports Report is brought to you by Down Home Grill in Victorville. Call 760-241-4663 for delivery, drive-through, curbside, or pickup. Down Home Grill, corner of Bear Valley Road and Ridgecrest Road in Victorville. Bid fast and last. World-class auctioneers. Bid fast and last. Liquidation of government entities, vehicles, firearms, estates, antiques, fine jewelry, coins, and more. Bid online at bidfastandlast.com.
Ready to kick tires, start fires, kick ass, take names, and rock and roll.
Valu Quality Truck Bodies, family owned and operated locally since 1954. Valu Quality Truck Bodies, proudly showcasing teams, athletes, and youth-oriented activities. The Bradco Companies, Joseph W. Brady's Bradco Companies, the high desert Mojave River Valley's longest-standing commercial brokerage firm. Bradco, leading efforts to improve the quality of life and standard of living for all residents throughout our high desert region.
Serious legal problems? Don't go it alone. Get the proper defense by going on the attack. Wanzek Law Firm. Trial lawyers for serious problems.
Silverwood. The developers of the Silverwood Master Planned Community support the teams, athletes, and sports programs of all our high desert and Mojave River Valley schools. We Got 'em Tees, your headquarters for custom screen printing and mastercraft embroidery design. Oh yeah, We Got 'em Tees. And by the Holiday Inn, conference and convention center for the high desert and destination of choice of visitors and travelers to the Victor Valley. This is your High Desert Sports Report, the Victor Valley's only weekly action highlights sports program, covering our area's schools, teams, athletes, and sporting events.